And good morning, Savannah, the Coastal Empire, and the Low Country. It's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, but not live on the Soundgarden Stage today at Coach's Corner because it's a little chilly out. I've been under the weather, so, I'm just taking it easy. I'm in my man cave, my den, and I'm putting on my favorite show of the week, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, heard on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, presented by the Coach's Corner, because that's where it's been since April of 2020. I appreciate you tuning in, like I say, every week, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I appreciate it. We got a great show for you. Great show. We're going to be talking a little Georgia football, a little college football. We'll talk a little baseball rules. We'll talk golf with the man himself, my first guest, Tim Guidera. Then my second guest, it's always the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic after the week. This young man did a great job. Joined the Savannah Country Day 1,000-point club. He's the 7th male basketball player to do it. And that's, of course, Robert Sapulding at Savannah Country Day. And then new girl on the block. She's the WTOC weekend sports anchor, sports reporter, whatever they ask her to do, over at WTOC. That's Rachel West. So that's the lineup. Got to get going. I want to get this stuff in here right away. As I say, every week we start with 3 steps in the door: high school, college, and national sports, pro sports that relate to Savannah, Georgia. All right, let's get to, of course, what happened on the hardwood last night. We had a lot of great games, and I can't forget to do this because I spend a lot of time doing it. But let's go to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report ticker on the bottom with all your high school basketball scores that I could get. Hey, text me your scores. I want to get it up there. You go to the Prep Sports Report website. Up there on the top, we got a sports ticker. If you don't know where to go to Karl DeMasi at prepsportsport.com or text me on my phone, 912-509158. I want to get all the scores up there. So let's go right to it. All right, we'll start with the ladies first, as we always do. In Georgia High School, Class 7A, Lowndes beats Richmond Hill 51-38. 6A, South Effingham beats Effingham 54-31. In 5A, Ware County beats Jenkins 53-34. In 4A, Burke County all over Islands 85-20. In 3A, Calvary Day School takes care of Beach 62-38. Savannah Country Day beats Liberty County 48-28. And Johnson beats St. Vincent's 57-42. Savannah Country Day Lady Hornets, first place in that, and then in that region, they beat Calvary Day School the other day, or last weekend. So way to go, Kenny Conroy. In 2A, don't have a score, Windsor Forest of Tattnall County. In A Division 1, Bryan County 58, Meta 55. Savannah High girls beat Woodville girls 40-18. In GIAA A, single leg, Region 6, Robert Toombs beats Memorial Day School 66-27. In GIAA, in 4A, 3A, District 2, Pinewood Christian beats St. Andrews 28-19. I would say that's a defensive battle. And the Havisham Lady Patriots in GAPS 1A, Region 4, beat Trinity Christian 58-47. Okay, let's go to the boys' side. Class 7A, Lowndes beats Richmond Hill 57-37. In 6A, no score, Effingham County at South Effingham. Effingham County's won like 33 games in a row against South Effingham, but no score reported. Ware County beats Jenkins 65-64 over on Duran in overtime. Heartbreaker. I got a highlight for you at the end of the show. That's my overtime. That's where I go 3 steps out the door. I got 3 videos, and they're all from last night, and I give you my editorial. Okay, Karl's Corner. All right, Class 4A. Burke County beats Island 82-62. Barn burner at Benedictine on Seaway Drive. Benedictine's leading almost the whole game, and New Hampstead pulls it out with a 3-pointer by the all-star quarterback, the co-Finicaro Water. Rashawn Truel hits a 3-pointer, put him up 59-58. All chaos breaks loose. They still give Benedictine the ball back with about 2 seconds left. Got that highlight too. So New Hampstead beats Benedictine, takes control of the Region 4A lead. This is boys, of course. And then in 3A, Calvary Day boys beat Beach Boys 45-43. Long County beat Groves 85-81. And Liberty County beats Savannah Country Day 75-51. Windsor Forest, no score in 2A. In A, D1, Region 3, Bryan County takes care of Meta 44-40. Woodville Tompkins comes back and beats Savannah High 62-61 on a last-second block shot. I think I got the highlight for that too. So Woodville and Savannah High are now tied in Class A, Division I, Region 3 for first place, okay? Because Savannah High beat them back in December, all right? Georgia Independent Athletic Association, Memorial Day 50, Robert Toombs Christian 45. St. Andrews takes care of Pinewood Christian 79-27. Big game over at St. Andrews today, 3 o'clock. Hebron Christian, ranked third in Class A by SandySpiel.com, comes in and takes on the Lions right here on Wilmington Island, 3 o'clock. St. Andrews taking on Hebron Christian. You want to go watch a great boys high school basketball game, get out there. In the Georgia Association of Private and Parochial Schools, Havisham beats Trinity Christian 72-25. Don't have a score for Bethesda. They took on Cross Creek. All scores that are posted are from Max Preps. What everybody reports to Max Preps or on their social media pages, I try to update. I think this week I missed or I couldn't find 5 scores. Okay, so that's high school basketball. All right, wrestling duels. Okay, let me get to this. All right, hang with me. The state wrestling duels are taking place all over the state. South Effingham won last year. They were state champions. Okay, so let's go with Class 7A. Richmond Hill won their opening round. Lost their opening round to North Gwinnett 30-28. Then defeated East Coweta in the battle back brackets instead of calling it the loser brackets. The battle back brackets 70-9. They'll take on Archer today in that to make it back into the I think it is the semifinals. In Class 6A, South Effingham is 3-0. They beat North Forsyth 67-6. They beat Noonan 74-0. Okay, they'll be wrestling today against North Forsyth. Okay, first round they defeated Rockdale 67-6. Second round they defeated Noonan 74-zip. All right, today they're taking on in the third round of the winners bracket. Okay, or the stay-in bracket. I don't know what you want to call it. North Forsyth. I don't have the times. I do apologize. In Class 4A, Benedictine is in the battle bracket again. Not again, but today. I don't have who they're wrestling against. They won their first match against West Lawrence 46-36, but they lost to Lubbock 36-34 in the second round. So they go to the battle back brackets. Say that 5 times quick. All right. In Class 3A, Calvary is in the battle back brackets. Don't know who they're going to wrestle today. They defeated Harlem in the first round, 40-39, close one, but they lost to Columbus 63-60, 63-6 in the second round. In Class A, D1, Bryan County eliminated. They lost in the first round to Heard County 66-18. And in the battle back brackets, they lost to St. Francis 55-24. And the girls team dual championships will be next week. The only girls team we got going to that is Richmond Hill. All right. Basketball rankings. Girls, Bradwell still number 7 in 5A. They're 15-1. In Class A D1, Bryan County gets back in. They're number 9 at 13-2. In boys, in Class 4A, New Hampstead is 11-4. They were ranked 7. Benedictine was 7-3 going into this week. Of course, it's on SandySpiel.com. So they played today, and New Hampstead won, so I guess they're going to hold that spot. In Class A D1 in boys, Savannah High was 4th with a 12-6 record. Woodville Tompkins was 5th with a 16-2 record. We don't know if that'll switch. All right, step 2, we're going to college. I'm rolling right along here. I want to get done this. Savannah State, their men are 4th in the SEAC East. They're 7-6, 5-4 in SEAC. They'll be home today against Morehouse College. Women's play. Coach Baker has the Lady Tigers, back in first place. Okay, they won last weekend. They take on Clark Atlantic Monday at Tiger Arena. Check it out at 5:30. They won their games this week. Got to go over to USC Beaufort, University of South Carolina Beaufort. The men's team is 9-4. They're in 6th place in the Peach Belt. They're 2-3. They're away today against North Georgia. They lost last weekend to Georgia Southwestern and Georgia College. Okay, on the ladies' side, the women's Sand Sharks or Land Sharks, whatever you want to call them, are 4-9, 0-5 in the Peach Belt. They lost last Saturday, Georgia Southwestern. They lost to Georgia College and Hannah Kale. Calvary Day School starts for Georgia College. They're at North Georgia today at 1:30. So USAB at North Georgia, 1:30 and 3:30. college football, we know what's going on, who's going where, what college coaches are going where. Players are leaving left and right. Alabama, I think, lost 500 guys already since Nick Saban retired. It's just crazy. The NIL, name, image, likeness, is causing a lot of turmoil, as is the transfer portal in college football. SCAD, women's bowling, won the Kegler SBAPA Classic. The men finished in 5th last weekend. Okay, let me see here. Laura Kurt finished in 2nd. She earned an all-tournament team. Grace, mistyped her last name, so I can't read it. But Grace so-and-so from SCAD was in 1st place. So last weekend in swimming at the Jimmy Conquer Invitational, freshman Tom Schroeder, not swimming, track and field. Last week, at the Jimmy Conquer Invitational, freshman Tom Schroeder broke the school's 1-mile record. He ran it in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Finished 3rd in the field of 33. This weekend, the SCAD swim team's in North Florida, and the track and field team is at the Carolina Challenge in Columbia, South Carolina. Professionals, okay, the only big thing is with the Atlanta Braves, Andrew Jones is up for the Hall of Fame. He received 58% of the vote last year from the Baseball Writers of America. He needs to get 75% to make it into the Hall of Fame. So good luck, Andrew Jones, one of the best outfielders ever to play baseball. He played for the Braves. Falcons, they interviewed Bill Belichick twice. From what I hear, Bill Belichick wants to be an Atlanta Falcon head coach. So let's see what happens. Today we got the divisional playoffs in NFL football. Remember, you can watch all these games at Coach's Corner. At 4:30, we got the Texans against the Ravens. At 8 o'clock, we got the Packers 49ers. Tomorrow, we got the Buccaneers at the Lions, and then we got the Chiefs at the Bills. All right, Atlanta Hawks, 3 games in a row. DeJounte Murray hits another game win. I mean, this was from downtown with 2 seconds left. I mean, it was a far 3-pointer. They won 109-108. They beat the Miami Heat. They're home today against Cleveland at 7:30. 3 in a row for the Hawks. Okay, let me finish this up. I want to get out of here quick. PGA Golf, Brian Harmon's off. Tim O'Neill is off in the Champions Tour. Last weekend, it was hockey here in Savannah. The Georgia Bulldogs, the Georgia Ice Dogs, beat the Florida Ice Gators 4-3. Prevents Florida from winning the now it's called the Ghost Pirates Cup. I call it the Thrash Cup for 3 years in a row. They had the All-Star game the next day. The ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League All-Stars, took on the Ghost Pirates, while the ECHL Ghost Pirates All-Stars beat the Ghost Pirates All-Stars 18-11. So they'll be back on the rink today, home against Florida, tomorrow against Homer. Tonight, 7 o'clock, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Then Thursday, home again at the N-Market Arena at 7 o'clock against the Orlando Solar Bears. Savannah Bananas, we know they're holding spring training. They open February 8th. They'll be back at Grayson Stadium on February 23rd. 3-game series. It's called the Savannah Banana Fan Fest. Semi-pro football. The Savannah Falcons semi-pro football team, they're looking for players. They'll have tryouts this Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. at Hubert Middle School. Go to Savannah Falcons semi-pro football team on Facebook and check it out. All right, next up, got to get out of here. Got to go to a quick commercial break. Hold it. If you have a comment, join in. We got 3 comments right here. Of course, the man, the producer, the OG, checking me out, Lawrence Bennett. He tells me what's going wrong. Gotta love it. Thank you always, Lawrence, for keeping on top of what I'm doing here. Sorry I'm not out in the Soundgarden freezing, but you know what? Got to do what I got to do. I don't want to get sick again. All right. Then, of course, the #1 fan of the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, Dennis Kessler, checking in. Love you, Dennis. Yeah, I didn't go outside today, Dennis. I'm staying home. I'm in my man cave in my den. So got to take it even. You're right. Go Cavs, boys and girls. And I appreciate your comments about it's an outstanding show. You have a wonderful day too, sir. All right. And then all the way up from out there in Atlanta, Georgia, Randy Gordon checking in. Love the show, Coach. Stay warm. Go Dogs. Saying hello to you and all your family. Same thing, Randy. It's my daughter-in-law's brother's father-in-law. There we go. I got it right. You know, Emily Dixon and Greg Dixon and the whole Dixon family. Randy Gordon's grandpa of the 2 kids. Thanks, Randy, for checking in. I really do appreciate it. Makes me very happy. All right, let me go to the break. Got to get out of here. Going to come back with Tim Guidera, talking Georgia football, talking college football, talking baseball rules and golf. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. 3.5 minutes. I'll be back. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded Soundgarden, now more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style, we are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, right here live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, but not on the Soundgarden today, people, because I'm inside. It's a little cold outside. I've been sick, under the weather, so I decided, you know what, Coach, let's take it easy so you can get better. So I'm right here live in my man cave, my den, just talking local sports with all you guys who are watching. I do appreciate it. Okay. Well, I wanted to touch on Georgia football after the national championship and talk national championship college football with this next young guy, Tim Guidera, Mid-Morning, WTOC co-host. But you know what? He wrote for the newspaper. He's a big, avid sports fan. Came down in 1992, never went home like me. Found himself a Savannah girl, doing a great job. He's couldn't make it on today. Last week we had technical difficulties. Today he's going up to see his kids. One's at Georgia College, 2 are at Georgia. They're meeting for lunch. So I had to record it. So I wanted to get his input on college football, Georgia football, baseball, and golf. So here's my interview with the man himself, WTOC Mid-Morning co-host, TV show on WTOC, and they're in some new studio on Plant River Street. And that's, of course, Tim Guidera. I'll be back right after you watch this recording. And what's up, sports fans? And once again, welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Like I said, I love doing the show live, but with technical difficulties and people doing things, and I got family things to do on Saturday mornings. Sometimes you just got to record. And last week we had technical difficulties with this guy to start my show, but like the gentleman he is from Staten Island, New York, he always can find time to talk to the guy from Long Island. You know what I mean? But he's been with the Savannah Morning News. He wound up coming down here as a sports writer, but now he's a TV star. He's a TV chef. He's a connoisseur of multiple things. He's got his own new studio at Plant River Street, whatever they call it. But anyway, he does a great job. He knows his sports. He loves his sports. He's got a plethora of knowledge. And I'm always excited to get him on here. So joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat, a little day earlier, but, it's going to be a lot of fun. The man himself from Mid-Morning, co-host on WTOC, is the man himself, Tim Guidera. What's up, Tim?
Oh, how are you? Great to see you, as always. Sorry about last week, by the way. If anybody knows me, they know I know nothing about technology. So it's not surprising that there would be some technical difficulties involving me.
Hey, it's no problem. I mean, it's just like when I was doing live radio, the guests wouldn't show up. So, you just gotta go with it. And you know what? What I did was, I ran over too. I ran like 5 minutes over that intro of talking about what's going on. So, I only had about 5 or 6 minutes to talk some sports off the top of my head, but it was fun. It's always fun when you get to ad-lib things, but I know things come up. But once again, you enjoying the new year?
Yeah, it's been a good year so far. The kids went back to school, I guess, second week of January, and that's why I'm recording this tonight, because I'm heading up to Milledgeville tomorrow to have a quick lunch with my daughter Isabella is at Georgia College. My twins, Brian and Grace, are at Georgia. They're going to drive down from Athens. The 5 of us are going to be together for the afternoon, and then I'll get home in time to see most of the NFL games tomorrow.
The divisional playoffs now.
Yeah.
We had super wild card weekend last weekend, but that's another story. But the reason why I wanted to get you on after the New Year is because college football, Georgia, a little baseball talk with the Braves, okay? And then, of course, you're a man that knows a lot that's going on in the golf world because you used to be the golf columnist. So it'd be a lot of fun to talk. So I'm going to kick it off. We'll start out with football. Of course, Georgia didn't make the college football playoffs. It's a shame. But they should have took care of business, and they should have beat Alabama, and they didn't. I understand Texas was iffy, but we got to go with what they got to go next year. What do you think? 12 teams? Are we still going to have a lot of scrutiny, or is it going to be a nice, peaceful, let's get into the playoffs?
There'll be arguments and there'll be conversation, but they won't be about who deserves to go. Because I don't think if you're the 13th best team in the country, you can make a case for saying, well, we should be in the playoff. If you're the 13th best team in the country, then you're fortunate just to be in the conversation, really. But what the debate and all the controversy will be about is who are the first 4 to get the byes? Who are the next 4 to host the first round games? Maybe if some of those games are going to be located in some bad weather locations that Southern teams have to travel to, is that too big an advantage to put in a playoff situation? So we'll still, of course, have, the plenty of debate and conversation and fighting online at this time next year or leading into the playoff next year. But really right now, I would be shocked if Georgia wasn't coasting into one of those first 12 spots.
And I went on a rant. I know a lot of people don't get a chance to listen, but I went on my rant about how the bowl season was horrible, the name, image, likeness, the transfer portal. It just killed all those other bowl games. And I know it's tradition, and anybody can contest to all these bowl games. I've lived most of them because I'm an old guy. So, it was just not exciting watching all those other bowl games. And I think NIL and the transfer portal has just destroyed the bowl game series. And now we're going to have 12 playoff games. So maybe the kids will stay around instead of just packing ship. Like, I feel bad. Florida State. I mean, we have a young man who stuck true to his word, Kalen DeLoach from Savannah, Georgia. He played in that game, and it was just ugly. So my next question is, are we going to see some kind of new bylaw that's going to go in there that you got to stay until after the new year or after the playoff season's over? And I know my son Russell was on a couple weeks ago, and he's a college coach. He says, Dad, and he told the audience, these kids got to be in there by the second week of January, just like your kids are up at school now. He says, what are we going to do?
It's, I mean, they started this NIL thing because people were screaming that college players have to be paid when they were already being compensated with a free education, room and board. I mean, that's a losing argument. I'm not even going to try to make that. I know that I don't want to hear that. But, people scream to have college players paid, and now they're being paid, and everybody hates the system because the NCAA just put it in place with no regulations, although apparently there are rules because Florida State is being brought up, investigated for breaking some NIL rules that nobody even knew existed. So it's just very hypocritical. And the NIL is disturbing because, pay college players, everybody wants to see college players. Well, what percentage of players are getting paid? There's a handful of players making a ton of money, and then some other players making some money. But the volleyball team's not getting paid. Nope. The soccer team's not getting paid. The golf team's not getting paid. So it's I don't know. I think they rushed the system into place, and they really kind of had no idea where it was going to get away from them. But it's there now, and I don't know how they're going to regulate it. I don't know how they're going to all of a sudden tell kids, well, now you're 2 years too late. You can't make that money. So they say Congress is going to get involved. How? I mean, I just don't see an end to this.
It's just simply amazing. And, just to throw another stat at you, my son Russell again, okay, only 40% of those players that enter the transfer portal wind up going somewhere. The other 60% are out to dry. So, I mean, it's just crazy.
And they can't go. Well, they can, but they're often not welcome back at the school that they left.
Right. I mean, I don't mind the kid transferring once, like the college coaches can get up and leave. You transfer once, but that second time you want to transfer, you got to sit out and pay a little penalty there. Okay. Once is fair. 2 or 3 or 4 times. How about the kid from Miami? I know he got hurt a lot. He's going to play his 9th year of college football.
I don't get it. I don't know. There's no rules anymore. I don't know. But the one thing that I think is good, although it's probably going to change the face of college football as much as anything in the last couple of years, is the 30-day window after a coach leaves, because Alabama is getting destroyed in just the last week. I mean, by the time they're done and players are done leaving, they are going to lose the equivalent of a full recruiting class. Yep. You figure they've lost their best defensive player, maybe their second best offensive player, a handful of starters, a ton of guys who contributed. That's a recruiting class. I mean, that's what you get out of a good recruiting class. And you lose all that in a week and don't have the opportunity to replace those guys because everybody else in the previous portal has already found a place to go. This could set Alabama back quite a bit.
All right, and we've already gone over a limit of what I want to do with college football, but I'm going to go with this quick. You said Georgia should be one of those 12 teams, but this team's got a tough schedule next year.
Oh yeah,
it's not an easy schedule. And do you think Kirby's going to be able to manipulate it and make sure they get in there?
It's with 12 teams going in. I think 3 teams from a top-notch SEC program get you in. So when you look at, everybody says, oh, well, they play Clemson, they play at Oklahoma, at Texas and at Alabama. Well, but they also play Ole Miss the week after Alabama. They also play Auburn the week after Texas. They've got some games in there that you would call them trap games. They're legitimately difficult games. They've probably got 7 or 8 games that you would call tests on their schedule next year. No college team has that. I mean, you and I, we sit through August and half of September, and it's like watching an exhibition season most of the time. I mean, because they're, the Georgias and the Alabamas are playing these directional schools and winning by 40 at halftime, and we're watching backups for the second half. But, it's going to be a very difficult schedule. Kirby has proven very capable of getting his teams prepared for big games. I mean, they've had a couple of no-shows this year, but it was not against the big games. They did not show up in the SEC championship game. That was disappointing. Injuries were a big factor in that game as well. But if anybody is capable of getting a team prepared for a schedule like that, I think Kirby is one who can do it. And the big fallback is they don't have to be 12-0 next year. They can 9-3. I think at 9-3, Georgia gets into the playoff. Now they may be playing that first week. They may be on the road that first week, but they're in the building.
They're in the playoffs. Yeah, that's always been another one of my rants. and you got two kids at Georgia. I had a daughter that graduated from Georgia. I couldn't get the good games. I went to Coastal Carolina, who they beat by 60. I did get a good game when they played Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern gave me a little run for their money for a little while. But
I was at that game, yeah. I went to overtime.
Yeah, but at least now they got to play a legit schedule. They don't have, like you said, those lower tier Division I schools or Division II schools. I don't know why anybody would do that, but they do that. Okay,
hey, real quick note about kids at Georgia. My kids, my twins, went through 4 football seasons, never saw a home loss.
Wow,
how cool is that?
I got to figure that out with my daughter too. I mean, I don't know. Well, yes, I do take it back. We did get tickets when they lost to Missouri at home with Mark Richt.
I was at that game too. Yeah, that was brutal. And I also had Syria Sandlin with me at that game, my former host for the morning show, and she went to Missouri. So that was a little bit of a long ride home with Syria, who was very gracious about it, but she certainly enjoyed the win.
All right, if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I'm talking to Tim Guidera, last week's first guest, this week's first guest, last week technical difficulty. All right, I'm going to end it there. There's still 2 more parts to go. I got this young man waiting, my Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic after the week. I'm going to pick up where we're going to leave off at the end of the show so I get the rest of Tim's interview in there. So I really don't want to keep this young man waiting anymore. He's got a game tonight. He had a game last night, so want to make sure I get him. But we do have a comment. Yes, Dennis, he does a great job on that show. It was recorded, but I'll make sure he sees this. I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, it's a great show. When I'm home sick, like Thursday, I get a chance to watch Mr. Tim Guidera on WTOC Morning Break. So, sorry, Mid-Morning Show. I keep on saying Mid-Morning Break. It's the Mid-Morning Show. So, thanks, Dennis, for checking in. All right, next up, we got the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic after the week. This young man's been waiting patiently. He's had a great career at Country Day. We're going to talk to him in about 3.5 minutes. Next up, Robert Spaulding, senior, Hornet, basketball player from Country Day. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. 3.5 minutes. We'll be right back. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded Soundgarden, now more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game
At
day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, Go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And here we go. Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And of course, it's presented by Coach's Corner. John Henderson and Dell Henderson, thank you for letting me do this since April of 2020. And, it's a lot of fun. And this is probably my favorite part of the show. This is why I started doing this way back when, is to get these kids more exposure. Like I said, I'm a teacher first, a coach. I'm just adding to the media outlets here, the Savannah Morning News with Dennis Knight, the WTOC, WJCL, WSAV, whatever I can add. And there's a lot of people doing it now, but I've been doing it since 2000. It's been a lot of fun. This young man on Thursday, January 9th, joined an elite club over at Country Day. 17 players have broke 1,000 points or have reached the 1,000-point mark in their career. So they joined the 1,000-point club. He's the 7th boy in that tradition. He's been a varsity player since 9th grade, has been a starter for 3 years. When I did this, he was averaging 18 points. I think he's up to like 19 points a game. He'll get me straight. He knows his stats better than I do. But once again, this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week from Savannah Country Day, senior basketball star player Robert Sapulding. What's up, Robert? How's it going?
Good morning. What's up?
Hey, it's a Saturday morning. I get to talk to you guys and the kids that have been exceptional, and you've had a great career over at Country Day. I mean, you got a lot of statewide recognition, all-state, Sandy Spiels, basketball website, but you're doing a great job, and I'm glad you can make it. I appreciate it.
I'm honored. Thank you.
So you reached 1,000 points, okay? Way back when you started playing basketball, did you think you were ever going to achieve this? And when did you realize during that game when you beat arch rival Savannah Christian that, hey, I'm a 1,000-point scorer?
I always knew I was going to hit it because I've been playing basketball since I was 4, and I always had dreams of hitting it. And during the game, I got a steal, and then I went down and made a layup, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got it. And I just got real happy because I felt it. And my emotions were high because it was against a crosstown rival. So, of course, it was just special to hit it against them.
Well, every game now you guys are playing rivals because you're playing all the city schools. You had a tough one last night. You've been a varsity player since 9th grade, started for 3 years. How's your journey with the Country Day basketball program shaped you as a player and as a leader on your team?
Having the opportunity to have nice facilities at our school, it gives me the opportunity to work out whenever. And I have everything I need to get better. And watching the older people in front of me when I was younger, and it helped me become a better leader because I learned what it took to help our team win. Nice.
And you were having a great career, a great year last year, and then you had an injury in December. You were averaging 21.7 points per game. I mean, how did you overcome that challenge with that injury, and what was that injury, and what adjustments did you have to make when you finally came back?
So I had a Jones fracture on the side of my left foot, and I came to peace with it because I just understood that things happen for a reason. And I realized I had an AAU season and a senior season to still prove myself. So I just looked at it as an opportunity to get better and just come out next year swinging. Well, this year swinging.
Is that on the outside of the foot, the inside of the foot?
It's on the outside.
Very hard to cut and drive, right?
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So you're senior now. I mean, now you're averaging over 19 points a game now, right?
Yes, sir.
7 rebounds, a guard. You're a guard after my own dream. I mean, I coached basketball for a long time. A guard that can average 7 rebounds a game is pretty impressive. You have almost 3 assists per game. How do you balance the scoring with facilitating the ball to your teammates? And what do you believe makes you that well-rounded player, because I bet you you do a heck of a job on defense. If I had to ask Coach Mack.
Yes, sir. I pretty much watch film because I understand that certain teams, they like to key in on me. So what I do is I facilitate first to open things up so scoring becomes easier. And so watching film just helps me a lot. And I think what a great contribution is, what helping me is just working out a lot, watching film, like I said, things like that.
All right, and you came into your senior year, your preseason, Sandy Speedo, Class 3A, All-State. You finished last year's third team All-State. You're one of the top players in the area and in the state. How does this recognition motivate you, and what goals have you set for yourself and your team for this year?
It motivated me a lot because I'm glad that I was recognized. And so therefore I set some goals of trying to hit 1K, which I did already, becoming region player of the year, maybe becoming first team All-State instead of third team. But it was a great accomplishment. I'm glad he recognized me. And
if you just tuned in, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic after the week. Senior basketball player from Savannah Country Day, Robert Sapulding, the fourth. Okay, I keep on leaving that out. I do apologize. So it's got to be a long lineages of great athletes with that name. So, all right. So you're the seventh boy to reach the 1,000-point club at Country Day. We know the girls program has been, one of the best in the area for a long time. Can you share any memorable moments or games that stand out in your mind contributing to this milestone besides doing against Savannah Christian last week?
I really don't have a really specific game. I'm just happy for all of the games because they helped me get to 1,000. So I really look at all the games as memorable, and I'm glad they're part of the milestone.
I know you came in, you said early on when I asked you about your junior year and you came into grips with the injury to your foot, but how did that affect you mentally, and how did you stay connected to the team during the healing process with that injury?
At first, I was real upset because it was in the middle of the season. I was like, I wanted to hit 1,000 last year and try to break school record this year. So I just prayed every night, and God blessed me. And then I went to therapy and started working on my body even more, helping myself get better. And I stayed connected with the team by just going to practices and games and just cheering them on constantly and just helping them know I was there at all times.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you want to be out there and you can't be out there. There's an injury that holds you back. And so you already took us through the moment when you scored that 1,000-point against Savannah Christian. So you're considered a scoring guard, okay? But you have an advantage on the court because what are you, 6'2"?
6'3", yes, sir.
6'3" now. So are there any specific players that you model yourself as, or is it just natural that you like to go down low and you like to rebound and you like to mix it up with the big guys?
I study Anthony Edwards and Kobe Bryant. I study Kobe like his post work, and that's how I develop my post fade. And I study Ant because he's a two-way player. And I like how both of them take on the challenge of guarding the other team's best player while still being able to score. So that's what I try to model myself after.
All right, so let's look into your future, your aspirations beyond high school. You plan on, of course, you're leaving a legacy there. Like you said, if you didn't get hurt, you could have had a shot. Do you still have a shot at breaking the scoring record?
I think so.
All right, so anything beyond high school? Teams looking at you, schools looking at you, calling on you?
Yes, sir. I have a couple of interests from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and Tennessee State so far. I hope to get some after the season, but my plans after high school is, of course, to go play college ball.
All right, and of course, behind every great athlete is the family. How has your family contributed to your success over since you've been 4 years old playing basketball?
My parents, my family, they invested so much into me, so I just want to get back to them as always because their support is the reason I'm in the position I'm in right now.
You got to do what you got to do, and without good parents and parents that are going to take you everywhere and get you where you need to get seen, it doesn't happen. Okay, so how long have you been at Country Day?
Since fourth grade.
Since fourth grade. So attending Country Day, what has Country Day meant to you as a student and athlete?
For a student-wise, it helped me a lot because the education is just so great that I feel like I have an advantage for when I go to college. And in terms of athletically, I just gained a lot of long-lasting friendships with people, learned a lot of different things from certain people, different groups of people, just everything like that.
Nice. And your coaches, you had Coach Smith for 2 years. Now you got Coach Mack for your last 2 years. How has your coaches contributed to your career?
They pushed me to limits that I know I can get to, but sometimes I don't do it myself, so they have to push me sometimes. However, I mean, they help me just work out, tell me things I need to do to get better, help me with terms of film, and just they help me with college coaches sometimes to just give me feedback that they receive from college coaches.
All right, and 2 more questions. You know, you're playing in a tough region. You have Johnson, Beach, Groves. I mean, Long County, Liberty County. What's it like playing in this region? I know your junior year was cut short, and your freshman sophomore year was in class. What was it, Class 1A? So tell us
Yes,
what it's
sir.
like playing this top talent in Savannah, Georgia. Everybody says it's about basketball, and I think it is because most of our basketball kids excel afterwards. Tell us about playing in that region. How tough it is.
Our region is very difficult, but I like playing it because it's the comp, and I mean, half of the people I already know, so it's just like playing my friends, and we just get to battle each other each night, and just to see who wins. And I mean, I enjoy it. I like playing with teams in our region.
Now, your senior year's coming up. You're going to hopefully be at the place you want to be for the college level, and of course, aspirations of making it big time. But after this is all said and done, after basketball is over, what are your future plans? What does Robert Spaulding IV want to do after basketball is over?
I want to give the youth in my community the opportunity to have a better chance than I did. Maybe like open a new horizon for Savannah's basketball, since we're known as like a football city, in my opinion. But I want basketball to be bigger, in my opinion. Yes,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's starting to be that way. We got a lot of these big-time college coaches coming in for the football players, but I'm telling you, Robert, I've been here for 30-something years. I mean, basketball will always be the sport in Savannah, Georgia. So, but yeah, now we're noticing all these big-time football coaches coming in. All right, rest of the season, how do the Hornets look? You got a shot at anything?
Yes, sir, I think so. My goals for the remainder of the season is to win region and make a deep run in the playoffs.
Well, Robert, keep it up. A lot of people have noticed you over the years. You're getting a lot of statewide notoriety, probably, with Sandy Spiels. It's going all across the United States. You've done a great job, and congratulations on joining that elite Hornet 1,000-point club.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, good luck tonight. Who do you got, Johnson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it home or at Johnson?
It's home at 4 o'clock.
Nice. Good luck, and go put in do a triple-double for us, okay?
Yes, sir. I got you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on. I'll be watching you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Well-spoken young man, loves the game. He's been at Country Day since 4th grade. I mean, he's a 4-year starter. I mean, he's been all-state. I mean, all-region. 6'3" now. Wow. I remember when he was 6 foot when he was a freshman, when I had a chance to coach against him way back when. So he can play down low. He can play outside. He can distribute the ball. Great job. And he's going to have a future in college basketball. And that's why I had to honor him. Another 1,000-point scorer here in Savannah, Georgia. And, everybody realizes now that we're getting these big-time college football coaches coming in. But we have some big-time college basketball players on our high school basketball team. So I can't wait to see what that young man does. And once again, great job over there, always at Savannah Country Day with their athletes. So next up, we're going to talk to the new girl in town. She's the new WTOC weekend sports anchor. I got to find out what she does during the week, because there were some different initials after her name when I looked it up during the week. But joining me next, Rachel West from WTOC Sports Department. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Be back in 3.5 minutes with Rachel, I hope. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere, so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded Soundgarden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game
At
day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Come cut and get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style, we are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And like I say every Saturday morning, I appreciate whether you tune in for 5 minutes, you tune in for 10 minutes, you go on my YouTube channel and you check it out. Hey, if you do that, subscribe to my channel. Let's make this thing grow. But you know what? I'm local. My niche, as they say, my little niche, as I would say, is right here in Savannah, Georgia. But I do step and go out of bounds, and I really don't go out of bounds, but I step on the national sports and talk about what's going on. But it's always fun bringing on the new guys and the new girls. So hopefully she doesn't take this wrong. I might call her you guys because that's where I'm from, New York. You guys got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? But she joined WTOC back in December. They've been a one-man show for a one-woman show because Lindsay Golf used to do it by herself. So they got 2 new people. Jeff Roberts, of course, is the sports director, and he finally got himself a weekend sports anchor. Of course, we're not going to hold this against her. She's from the University of Florida, Gators, okay? Rachel spent several years working in Tampa Bay. That's where she's from. All right, Devil Rays, sorry, got to take that back. The Rays got to be politically correct. Tampa Bay Lightning, Tampa Bay Times, local newspaper. She covered the World Series, Super Bowl, I guess that would be 55, 3 straight Stanley Cups. Man, this is a girl after my own heart. Every time I go to Tampa to visit relatives, we got to go to a Lightning game, because, New York, Rangers, Islanders. And she's been on Tampa Bay. That's where they do all their traditional championship parades. Born in St. Louis, but raised in Sarasota. She's up here now in the SAV. She's making that track from home. Okay, but she's not too far away. So the new weekend sports anchor, and she'll tell me what the other letters mean after her name, at WTOC, joining us on the Coach's Corner hot seat, Rachel West. What's up, Rachel?
Hello, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing good. We're talking local sports on a Saturday morning. It's on the internet. I used to have a little gig on the radio, but that stuff ended. But it's always fun talking to the new people that come in here. And now we have another female sports reporter, which is great. We used to have 2 all the time, but one went back home to Kentucky. I know the grass is always blue in Kentucky and everybody wants to go back home. But once again, congratulations on coming up and moving into the SAV.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. It's been a whirlwind of a month so far, but super fun. So I'm looking forward to a whole lot more of it.
Well, welcome to Savannah. I mean, you're making that transition from covering sports in Tampa, which is more of a professional venue than it is college and high school. Yeah, I mean, you have college, the USF, University of South Florida Bulls. You have the University of Tampa. I mean, but it's mainly professionals down there. So, how are you going to make that transition and be part of that WTOC where you got to follow the Bulldogs? I didn't say that. Woof, woof, woof. And, being more of a golf and more of a lesser than a pro level, more of a college level, semi-pro sports area.
Yeah, with the Bulldog thing, I always joke every time my alma mater comes up, I'm like, please, guys, don't hold it against me. I swear I can be impartial. It'll be okay. That Florida-Georgia game is going to get me, though. Everyone keeps calling it the Georgia-Florida game, and it just doesn't make sense to me. F comes before G in the alphabet. I feel like that's just the way it should go. But maybe one day I'll make the transition to Georgia-Florida. But I don't know. It just sounds weird coming out of my mouth. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of a different kind of different things to cover here. You mentioned golf. That was something that was also pretty big in Tampa. We had the Valspar Championship there, one of the PGA events every year. So definitely have experience doing that. And personally, I love golf. So I'm very excited to be in an area where you've got the Masters not too far by. I mean, who doesn't love that? Heritage up in South Carolina, obviously, and then even a Corn Ferry event early on in April. So yeah, definitely excited. And then I've been getting around to as many high schools as possible here. Was just at Benedictine last night for an absolutely insane game against New Hampstead. And then also been making my way around to some others and loved every bit of that so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Have you dabbled in any sports yourself? High school sports, leisure sports?
Yeah. So all growing up, I played softball, started t-ball when I was 4, played all through high school, played my freshman year of college at UF. I played on the club team, not the D1 team, wasn't that caliber by any means. But yeah, and then I just stopped just to focus more on school and on the TV and broadcast side of things and classes and whatnot. So definitely a huge baseball girl. I always joke that was my first love. My brother's 6 years older than me. He played all growing up. So I was born at a baseball field every weekend. That's where I was. So huge sports family in general.
I mean, don't put the club level down because people don't realize that club level on college is just as intense as being a D1 player. I mean, you got some pretty good athletes playing, club sports. So don't take that too lightly. I mean, you have to hold your own when you do those things. So, all right. And you just said it, you've covered some major sports. I read off the World Series, Super Bowl 55. I'm pretty sure that's what LV means. So what's your most memorable moment covering some of the, and of course the Stanley Cup, because ice hockey here now is becoming big time. When I got here, Rachel, the first Rumble in the Rink in 1999, it wasn't, but it's just evolved to minor league hockey here now, and a lot of people are into it.
Yeah, which is great. I always say hockey is something that if people give it a chance and sit down and watch it, you're going to love it. Like, I don't think you can't. So that's definitely exciting for the area. Really hard to pick favorite, most memorable moment because I have been so fortunate I'm only 25 and as you rattled off, Super Bowl, multiple Stanley Cups, World Series, I always joke, I've peaked. It's all downhill from here. But I think if I had to kind of narrow it down at least a little bit, that Stanley Cup run that the Lightning had those 3 years, unfortunately weren't able to pull off the three-peat, but they got back to the finals. And just those 3 years was just absolutely insane. I mean, I started working for the team before covering it for the Times. in end of 2019. And they went through like a super rough patch during that fall of that season, where even to the point where their head coach, Sean Cooper, there were talks like, is he going to get fired?
Yeah, I remember that.
They went from that to winning the cup almost a year later because of COVID in the bubble, then to pull it off again, get back to the finals a third time, and Colorado obviously barely got them in sixth there. But just seeing from like point A to point B, just the growth. And I feel like it's very cliche in sports, and the players always talk about the relationships and the bonds, but I was able to see that firsthand, and it truly was something different than I had seen on other teams. So just getting to be a part of all of that was super, super fun for me.
And if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, on the internet. We're interviewing the new girl in town, WTOC weekend sports anchor. And what do those initials mean after your name? What do you do during the week? I mean, it has to do something with that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so MMJ is multimedia journalist.
Okay.
A fancy way of saying reporter, more or less. So during the week, I bounce back and forth between sports and news stuff. Just kind of depends on the day, whatever, is happening.
Right.
So I've done news stories during the week, but also sports, like last night doing high school basketball. So it just kind of depends on the day, but just reporting.
I got you. I understand now. So multi-talented young lady that's going to do anything, but as long as you're the anchor on the weekends, it's pretty good deal. All right. So how long did you live in St. Louis?
Not very long.
Okay.
So as you said, I was born there, but my family moved down to Florida when I was like 2.5, not even 3 yet. We were up there actually because my whole family in total, they had lived there for about 5 years. My dad used to also be in the business. He was a sports anchor and reporter originally in Maryland, where my whole family's from. And then they moved out to St. Louis because he was working out there at a station. Then he eventually wanted to spend more time with me and my brother, so got out of the business and moved down to Florida. And now here we are. Well, now I'm in Georgia, but
it's a tough life. You're always working at night. You don't have many weekends free. It definitely is tough. So I can understand that. All right. So basically Tampa Bay sports fan. Okay. That's where you spent most of your whole life, in that area. So how are you going to adapt to the Savannah teams in your fandom? Any specific teams you're particularly excited about seeing? You got to say Savannah Bananas, because if you haven't experienced that, you will be. And I'll tell you this. I tried to get tickets to the Tampa Bay extravaganza next month, but I didn't win. I didn't make it in that lottery, so I didn't get tickets down there. So tell us, what are you looking forward to? What teams you looking forward to in the Savannah area?
Yeah, well, definitely Bananas. I was super fortunate when they were on their tour last year. I was able to go to the game in Tampa. So got to experience that firsthand. That was incredible, super fun experience there. So definitely looking forward to getting involved in more of that around here in Savannah and over at Grayson Stadium. But yeah, besides that, Ghost Pirates has been super fun so far. Just spent all of last weekend covering all of the All-Star events, Fan Fest, and then the game last Monday. And those guys have been super great to work with so far. And clearly I'm a hockey girl, so it's great to have that team around here as well.
Oh, it's definitely great to have professional hockey here, because it makes a big difference. Even though, like I said, the Publix Savannah annual hockey tournament between Georgia Tech, Florida, used to be Florida State, but they didn't come this year. We had Tennessee. I mean, it's gotten 10 times better. And I don't know why they're still considered a club team, why they just don't enter NCAA hockey division, but we'll see what happens with that. All right. So also I'm excited, or I'm intrigued. What is Tampa Bay? I know because I'm a sports fan, but explain people what Tampa Bay is, what they do. Of course, Tampa Bay with their football Super Bowl ring, and Devil Rays haven't won one yet, have they? Well, you had the Lightning. You had the Lightning. Sorry, Rays. I still call them the Devil Rays. And of course, the Lightning have won. What are those parades like there on the Bay?
Absolute chaos in the best possible way. I mean, you've got, of course, you have the adult beverages flowing pretty well with all the team and the coaches, owners, staff,
Right.
whatever. So that adds to the electricity there. But yeah, it's pretty much just the whole team and organization really just hops on boats.
How about the fans? How about Tampa Bay? How many people do you get to pack this thing?
Oh, thousands. There's people that line up on like the sidewalks along the river, and then also people get in their own boats, and there's like kind of roped off areas in the water to like kind of stay behind. But then you got players jumping on people's jet skis, riding around with the cup, and it's just absolutely insane, but so much fun. It started during COVID because they were like, we just won this cup and we want to celebrate. How do we do that? They're like, oh, let's do it on the water, outside. Perfect place. So, and it just kind of stuck once, championship after championship kept coming. So definitely fun time.
I can't wait till you, experience your first St. Patty's Day and compare that to Tampa Bay championship parades. That'll be pretty interesting. So outside of sports, I mean, you mentioned in your bio, we're not to hold Bachelor Mondays against you, but any favorite, moments from that show or any other things you like to do besides covering sports and watching Bachelor?
Man, I do love my Bachelor. Reality TV in general, I'm a sucker for it. It's my guilty pleasure, I suppose. But yeah, definitely carve out some time on Mondays if possible to find that. If not, we watch it on demand whenever I can find the time. It's super excited because the new season is starting next week. So that'll be fun to get into.
And supposedly you're a connoisseur on chicken fingers.
Ooh.
Any Savannah spot got you yet?
So I haven't been able to get out and like kind of test out the waters there too much quite yet. But I've been told that Spinky's is a really good place to start. And I've seen them around. I know there's even one in the arena. So I'm definitely going to have to try that because, as you said, I'm a huge chicken tender fan.
I put my thumb up and another thumb showed up. I guess one of our listeners likes your choice there too. But yeah, Spanky's, Tubby's, Coach's Corner, the sponsor. Have you been to Coach's Corner yet?
No.
All right. Well, you have to try the chicken wings there too. So they're pretty good too. So, with the excitement, you also are a big concert fan, and you got the Enmark Arena, and now we're getting bigger and bigger entertainers coming in. How are you excited about checking it out? I mean, you've checked out the hockey, but you haven't checked out a concert yet, have you?
Yes, very much looking forward to it. Country music is my thing. Love country, and a ton of country people come to that arena. So I've already been looking at the schedule and trying to make plans and arrangements to get over there to some of those. So definitely excited about that for sure.
So you already said you're a baseball hockey fan, and Savannah Bananas don't play true baseball. So I hope you realize that. So if you're in the stands, you catch a foul ball, the player's going to be out. So just don't catch Bananas foul ball, I guess. So we'll go from there. But for the viewers, tell them how they can get in contact with you, if they got stories and how much you want to cover it, and just throw everything out there for them.
Yeah, definitely always here to listen, and definitely if anyone has story ideas or just anything at all to share with us, definitely please reach out. We love hearing from you. So Twitter is a really good spot for that. Handles my name at Rachel West with 2 underscores because I have a very, very basic name, so had to tack on that second underscore there. Rachel West WTOC is my Facebook. That's also a good spot. And then of course always email rachel.west@wtoc.com. So yeah, any story ideas or anything at all, chicken tender recommendations, already got one of those. Very much appreciated.
All right, and lastly, you and Jeff Roberts, the new sports anchor, are both thrown in there. You started doing this podcast thing. I haven't listened to it yet, but tell us what you guys are going to be doing with that.
Yeah, so yesterday we released the first installment of that, the WTOC Sports Podcast. We're talking about the divisional round NFL games coming up this weekend. It's a big weekend between the two of us because his Detroit Lions are going against my Bucks. So bragging rights certainly on the line with that one. He of course went with his Lions. I went with my Bucks. Heart wants what the heart wants. We'll see. We'll see who wins here. But yeah, next week we'll probably do one on the conference championship games. And we'll try to, on a weekly basis, put out at least one podcast just talking about kind of whatever is happening in the sports world. So please tune in. Find them wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Did you? I know I'm almost done with my questions, but it just popped up to my brain. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did you get to meet Tom Brady? What, if you did, what was that like?
Yeah, so never had like one-on-one interaction with him because like nobody ever got that.
Wow.
That he's clearly a very in-demand man, and that didn't happen. The group interviews were from the podium. That was typically the case. But I mean, with the media, he was always very like I have nothing bad to say about him.
Okay.
He always was there when he said he was going to be there, did the media that he said he was going to do, and obviously brought the town a Super Bowl. So can't be mad about that.
All right, quickly, NFL divisional playoff round, okay? Make your picks. Texans against the Ravens.
Got to go Ravens.
Gotta go.
They are just too good, I think. Too good. Texans have been a very good Cinderella story, but got to stick with Baltimore.
And you don't think C.J. Stroud can pull this off?
I mean, he could, but I don't know. I just think that the Ravens team is tough to beat. I mean, Lamar Jackson with the way he's playing, it's just. Also, I brought this up on our podcast the other day. I don't know if you've seen the whole Super Bowl logo conspiracy that has the Ravens, like the colors always predict the Super Bowl matchup.
Really?
Yeah, for the past couple years. So, and the color that's been on the bottom of the logo has won it. So this year it's purple on the bottom, red on top. So theoretically, Ravens 49ers with the Ravens winning, but I don't know. Time shall tell.
I know the Texans have never, they're the only team that I think they're the only NFL team has never won a divisional round game. So we'll see what's that. Okay. We know the Packers with Mr. Love against the 49ers. I know what your pick's going to be.
Yeah. Gotta stick with San Francisco there. I mean, Brock Purdy, I don't ever want to take anything away from him, but when you got McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, list goes on and on. Just so many weapons on that team. It's hard to bet against them.
I got you. All right. I know it's near and dear to your heart. First time the Lions are hosting a divisional playoff game in a long time. Got your Buccaneers coming in there with good old Baker. I know your heart's going to go with Tampa Bay, but do you think they can beat the Lions there in Detroit?
I think they can. I think if the defense shows up, they have a very good shot. They live and die by that defense. And I also, this is something else Jeff and I were talking about. I think Detroit, it's been 32 years since they won a playoff game. And that is a big high to come down from right into the next week. So I'm hoping for, just a little, they're super emotional about last week and now they're into this week and they're like, we already won one. It's fine. Like, we don't need to win another. So
nice.
Hopefully the Bucs can take advantage of that.
I got you. And of course, the one they're talking about the most, it's the Chiefs against the Bills again. It's always, but you realize they've only played each other 3 times, Mahomes and Allen. So that we're making such a big deal of it. But it's the first time they're making a big deal that Mahomes has to go on the road. So, I mean, whether you're in Kansas City or you're in Buffalo, it's going to be chilly. There's going to be snow. It doesn't matter. So what did you take on this one?
I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Buffalo. Two very evenly matched teams. It's been back and forth over the years who's come out on top. But I'm going to give the advantage to Buffalo just because they're at home. And I don't know. I'm just feeling Buffalo.
Here's another little tidbit for you. This is the 7th time that Josh Allen and Mahomes are going to go at each other. And guess what? It's tied 3-3.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But it is so crazy, as you mentioned, that Mahomes has never played a true road playoff
Isn't
in
it?
all the years. And so, I mean, I think he has the experience. I don't think that's necessarily going to be a factor, but it's just a crazy stat.
So, Hey, it's great talking to you again. I know we met that first day at the Finney-Carroll Award with Rashawn Truell, who buried a 3 last night to win the game for New Hampstead.
Yeah.
You probably said, I know that kid.
Yeah. I actually got to talk to him and Coach Williams the day before ahead of their practice.
I know.
And so I was like, man, this all really worked out for me here.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Saturday morning, you've had a late night, Friday night, high school hoops all over here, and then getting on TV and doing the show. But I appreciate you get up and doing this, and look forward to seeing you on the sports scene. And once again, congratulations. You're going to like the SAV. It's not Tampa Bay. You're going to have to get away from that professional sports genre. But there's a lot of sports to talk about here in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm 1 month in. I think I'll be just fine.
And just remember, behind every great man, behind every great sports director is a great woman. So make sure Jeff doesn't forget that.
Oh, don't you worry. I won't.
Have a good one, Rachel. Thank you for coming on, and I'll see you around town.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
And like I said, you ever need anything, you need a phone number, a coach's number, let me know.
Absolutely.
Have a good one. I know.
too.
Go Bucks. I know.
Yes.
I mean, I met her at the Finney-Carroll Award when we gave out the first trophy co-winners, Rashawn Truell, who buried a 3 last night to beat BC. And then, of course, Jake Merklinger was the other Finney-Carroll Award winner. But, you could tell she's into it, and it looks like it's the ladies' crew on weekends at WTOC. The anchor, the weather girl, the sports anchor. I mean, it's pretty cool watching these girls, what they do, because it's a lot of fun to watch, and they do a heck of a job. So check it out, WTOC newscast on the weekend. Well, coming back, overtime, that's where I get into my videos. That's where I give you calls editorial. Looking forward to talking to you in 3.5 minutes. You're watching, of course, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. And they do have the best wings in town. I don't care what anybody says. Chicken wings, chicken fingers, check it out. Coach's Corner, Rachel. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded Soundgarden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game
At
day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. What is the Coach's Corner Sports Network? We have 4 shows on the Coach's Sports Network. It's on the internet. The brainchild of the OG himself, the producer. I'm the OG. I'm older than him. And that's, of course, the producer, Lawrence Bennett, came up with the idea. They started Rubbin' and Grubbin' Wednesday nights, Facebook, 6 to 7 o'clock, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. They rub about cars and they grub the food at Coach's Corner. Great show. Brandon Bain is the host. The kid has a plethora of knowledge. And, of course, Lawrence Bennett is the man behind the scenes. Then yours truly, every Saturday morning, I'm here with the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, usually on the Soundgarden Stage. But, you know, I've been under the weather for the last 2 weeks. I did it last Saturday. Lucked out. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that cold. But, you know, 30 degrees when I woke up this morning. I'm glad I made the decision to stay in the house, trying to get better, you know, little respiratory infection. You know how it works. And then, of course, we have one other live show that goes once a week, once a year, once a week. And that's, of course, the 19th hole at Coach's Corner with the Herb brothers. That's when Sean and Brent Herb break down the Masters, and they do a great job. 5 straight days of just talking PGA golf and what's going up there in Augusta. And it's a little adultish, but it's a lot of fun. And then we have one podcast. It's during the baseball season. Hopefully we'll kick off soon because spring training starts soon. It's the Who's on First Base baseball podcast with the coach, Karl DeMasi, and, of course, the baseball fanatic, also the voice of Savannah Clover Soccer. And that's, of course, you can get your tickets at Savannah Clover Soccer for the season. They're on sale for now, Kyle Lawson. All right, 3 in the door. But before I get to 3 in the door, okay, I had a comment, didn't get to. Of course, my good buddy, Seth Gaspin, the baseball coach over at Jenkins High School, is probably at practice, so he did that before he went to practice. You know, he's the coach at Jenkins baseball team. Pleasure that you're checking in there, Mr. Gaspin. I got to finish up my interview with Tim Guidera, okay? Last week we had technical difficulties. This week, I only wanted to go 10, 12 minutes, but we went almost 19 minutes. So we finished the first question, which was talking about college football, the NIL, name, image, likeness deals, and the transfer portal, and about Georgia and their schedule. We never got to finish. I never got to finish the part where we talk about baseball because spring training starts soon, even though the Bananas have started. You know, the rules, how it affected the game this year. And then, of course, a little golf because, you know, he used to be the sports golf columnist for the Savannah Morning News. So probably about 7 minutes, finishing up my interview with the man himself from WTOC, the mid-morning co-host, Tim Guidera. Week we're recording because he's going to go spend some time with his family. All right, quickly, one question in baseball, and I'll give you one question in golf. All right, you and I are purists, okay? We always will be, all right? But do you agree with the rule changes? You think it helped the game get more fans to the park?
The last year rule changes?
Yes.
You know, I haven't looked at the fan numbers, but I actually liked watching games more with them. Going into the season, I hated them. I hate the idea of a clock in baseball. I still hate that put a guy on second base rule, and nothing is ever going to make me like that.
Let's play softball in the major leagues. And I'm not taking anything away from softball, but that's a college softball rule that they're adopting the baseball. Yeah, no, that's a dumb rule. And I think eventually we'll get rid of that. I mean, you know, there's one guy who likes that rule, and he's the commissioner, and he's not going to be the commissioner forever. But the way the games flowed so much better last year. I mean, you know, the Yankees of all teams played 3-hour games. You know, they played 4.5-hour games the year before. So it made it more fun to watch. It made it easier to watch on television. And I think it made more people likely to watch on television, where
let's face it, you and I probably don't know a lot of people who are going to sit down and watch a Wednesday night Braves Cardinals game.
Yeah, it's true. So, but there's one rule that I don't like, and it takes us back to the original rules. You can play anybody anywhere, and that's the way it should be. Outlawing the shift is not right. What has happened with baseball, and I've said this to you plenty of times, we've talked about this, is the baseball player has to learn to go the other way. The baseball player has to learn to take advantage. I mean, just off the top of my head, Tony Gwynn, I mean, he can put the ball all over the place. But today's baseball players or today's fans or today's baseball world, all they want to see is a long ball. I mean, watching short ball, watching teams take advantage of that. And that's the only rule that I didn't like, that you weren't allowed to shift. I mean, you know, the bigger base, the time clock, the pitch clock wasn't bad. But the only rule that I didn't like was let them do what they want to do.
I agree with you on that. I mean, you know, because really the defense should only be hurting itself if it's putting too many guys on one side of the field. Right. But that's on the batters. I mean,
okay,
you know, 1 week of the bunting against the shift, and nobody shifts anymore.
Nobody shifts
anymore.
But
they're unwilling to do that. Right. And the reason people want to see just home runs and strikeouts is because that's all we're getting. It's because it's all this analytics and launch angles and that's what they're feeding us. And so we have no choice but to see home runs and strikeouts, and that might not change anytime soon because, you know, they're all convinced that these metrics and these numbers, it's the way to go. Although, I keep going back to the Yankees here, but the Yankees did get rid of a lot of that. You know, they brought in some traditional baseball people, and they said we're not going to be so beholden to the statistics and the numbers, and we're just going to kind of let it go a little bit more and play baseball, which is good.
I mean, how many teams have a Phil Rizzuto, the scooter that goes around teaching bunting? Probably nobody, right?
I was a bunting coach my freshman year of high school for my elementary school baseball team that I had just graduated from. I was 1 year older than the guys I was coaching because I could bunt when I was a little guy, so I could bunt when I was playing ball. And so I went back the year after I finished Our Lady Queen of Peace in Staten Island. I went back and taught the guys a year younger than me how to bunt.
It's pretty neat. All right, last question to throw it at you. I know we could spend 5 hours talking and doing a podcast on sports, but you know, with the landscape of golf changing with the Live Tour and the PGA changing, Rory McIlroy now jumping ship, so what do you think is going to happen? Are we ever going to come to a unified system with these two leagues or these two professional associations, or we're just going to be going all over the place?
We have to. I mean, I don't think the PGA Tour has any choice, which is 180 degrees opposite of what I was thinking a year ago at this time. Because really, all I thought the PGA Tour had to do was wait out Live. It would go away. The Saudi government would get bored with paying these guys this kind of money and realize, all right, we're not really golf people. We just wanted to make some noise. And they really accomplished what they were trying to do, which is get people talking about them in ways other than how we usually talk about them. So, but now, I mean, because the PGA Tour has allowed it to go on so long, and they just keep coming after players. I mean, you know, they took John Rahm at the beginning of this season, and they're not going to stop. And they have apparently a limitless supply of money. So the PGA Tour is not going to outspend them. So what I think eventually was going to happen, and I'm a little less confident about this now than I was 6 months ago, is the PGA Tour will sign that agreement. They'll come to an agreement. The tour will be in charge of the joint organization. It will fold the Live Tour and incorporate the Live team competition into PGA Tour events somehow, maybe into these signature events that they have. Now, that is just completely me spitballing on this. I have no knowledge of any discussions in that direction or what. I think that would have been a lot easier to do before the Live Tour demonstrated that they can still take whoever they want because everybody has a number. You know, I mean, Rahm was saying for years, I'm not going there. I'm interested in playing championship golf. I'm not interested in playing, 54-hole events with shotgun starts. Well, it's funny what $600 million makes you interested in.
And last question, our own Savannian down in St. Simons. I know people say he's from St. Simons. He's not from Savannah.
He's
Ryan Harmon. He's been really good the first couple of tournaments going out here. You think he has another shot to get a major?
I mean, it's so great to see. I mean, this happens a lot in golf where guys make that breakthrough, sometimes late in their career where, believe it or not, Brian's late in his career now. He's older than we were remembering as Savannah Christian. But it's, he's very confident, and he's the number 9th player ranked in the world, right. And then every week he plays, he seems to be in contention at some point during the week, not always on Sunday, but you turn TV on Friday, and there's Brian in 5th place. You turn the TV on Saturday, maybe he's made a run or something like that. And last week, I think he finished in the top 15. Did he?
Top 15, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just been a transformation. A win like that to win the Open Championship it changes you as a golfer. I mean, Brian as a person is not going to change. He's Brian.
He's Brian.
He's Brian from Savannah, no matter what they say about where he's playing out of. But I mean, you just look at him now, and he just seems so much more comfortable on the golf course. You know what nobody has talked about? Everybody was talking about his waggling. He was waggling the club too much. Watch Brian play now. You're not seeing him waggle. He's so much more comfortable over the ball. Yeah. And he's just more confident, more prepared, and just, it's something that can maybe take him in a whole different direction. I mean, he's contested in U.S. Opens before, so he obviously has the game to play that type of golf. He has been on the first page of the leaderboard briefly at the Masters, but he loves that golf course. Lefties tend to play Augusta National well, and he's a great putter. So, perhaps he can contend there. PGA is a crapshoot, so, it's just a great tournament that great players win. And right now he's a great player, so he probably has a chance to do that. So, yeah, I would say, even he wouldn't say he expects to win another one, but it is certainly really possible.
All right, I'll leave you on this note. He shoots 25 under, and he's still 4 shots off the winner.
Wow, that's today's tour, man. Everybody out there can play.
So, all right, I appreciate it, and we'll catch up 2 or 3 months when we start hearing the crack of the bat, which I love. The wooden bat, not the aluminum bat.
That's right, yeah. Not the ping of the bat, the crack of the bat.
But appreciate you coming on, and once again, we'll get together. And as always a pleasure. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you, Carl. It's always fun.
All right, Tim. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
I mean, just a great interview. And, we touched on, in the first part, we touched on NIL, and then we touched on the transfer portal and the Georgia Bulldogs and how tough their schedule is. In this part, we got into the baseball and the golf thing because, we are a big golf area, and the man knows his stuff about golf. And I wish I got to go up to Augusta and the Masters as many times as he has. But once again, I got to thank Tim Guidera to do this. And Lawrence Bennett, if you're watching still, hey, we're at the 132 mark. But here we go. 3 videos or 3 steps out the door, and then Carl's Corner, my editorial. But a lot of things happened last night on the hardwood. 3 great shots. Well, 3 great plays. 2 were great shots. 1 was a great block. And I got to thank for the people who posted this. This comes from former Woodville Tompkins head coach Lenny Williams, now at Ware County. Ware County and Jenkins played last night. Ware County hit a deep 3-pointer to tie the game to go into overtime, and then they beat the Jenkins Warriors 65-64 in overtime. Feel bad for the Warriors, and but that's what happened. So here we go. This was a Ware County shot that tied the game against Jenkins at Jenkins to force it into overtime. Ball. Skip, number 1 throws it up. Let's go! That's taken a victory out of the hands of Jenkins High School. The agony of defeat because they went into overtime and they lost by 1. They were up 54-51, and you saw it on the clock. Number 1 from Ware County hits that deep 3-pointer to make it go to overtime. Okay, here's the block of the game. Woodville Tompkins, Savannah High. Georgia High School State Association Class 1A, Division II. Savannah High won by 15 back in December, 63-48. Okay, at Woodville Tompkins. Now we're at Savannah High, and Woodville Tompkins beats Savannah High 62-61 last night. Crazy. But watch this big block by the Woodville Tompkins basketball player. And go to the Prep Sports Report. You can read about what went on. You had Woodville Tompkins beating the boys Savannah High. You had the Savannah High girls beating the Woodville Tompkins girls. And then, of course, they had a special award. They gave out bicycles to the Savannah High players who have done something great. Nathan Dominance did a great story on it. Check it out on the prepsportsreport.com. But here's the block that sealed the deal for Woodville Tompkins to defeat the Savannah High Blue Jackets. Got to thank Dennis Knight for that one. Okay, got to thank Dennis Knight for that one. I don't know how the man writes stories and takes great Twitter videos. I mean, it was just unbelievable. But once again, Woodville Tompkins holds on to beat Savannah High at Savannah High, 62-61. That's going to be a heck of a region tournament there in Class A D1. Okay, now heartbreaker at BC last night. BC's winning the game. They held the lead, and they lost it at the end of the game. And Rashawn Truell, one of the best quarterbacks in the area this year, high school quarterbacks, buries a three from the corner. And there's a lot of things that go on afterwards. Okay. But of course, my good buddy from ESPN Coastal, we worked a lot together on the high school game day, Friday night football games. That's Kevin Thomas. I had to get the golden voice on here to listen to his take on the 3-pointer by Rashawn Truell.
Ladon's going to outlet pass to Jones. It's out there to no man's land. Here's Sink. The ball is loose. New Hampstead has it. Right side, Truell for three. Got it with 2 seconds.
Now, the video cuts off there because I didn't do the whole thing, but the Phoenix, New Hampstead's bench rushes the court. They do give the ball back to BC, but a lot of the complaints are it's a technical foul. The game wasn't over. There was 2 seconds on the clock. Referees didn't call it, but you know how things are going to go around here in Savannah. So, and BC got the ball back. They tried to throw a pass. They did get the ball to Hamp Jones. Okay, and he had a shot at the winning basket, but it was like beyond half court. So just great, and that was Kevin Thomas from BC, from Watch BC Sports Online. So I'm giving credit for everybody. So just 3 great videos right there to end those games last night. All right, Carl's Corner. Okay, and if you watched the beginning of the show when I interviewed my man Tim Guidera, and we talked about the NIL. The NIL, name, image, likeness, it's not causing it is causing problems in college sports. Okay. But there's always been that long-standing issue. College players should be paid. But college players are getting paid. They're getting a scholarship. You're getting $25,000 to $50,000 a year to go to school, to make a name for yourself, and hopefully get to the next level, if that happens. Okay. So they are getting paid, but I think the money that's coming out of this is too extreme. There was no rules set. Well, now we know, as we said in that excerpt, Florida State, is now being penalized. Okay. So the introduction of the NIL allows student athletes to capitalize on their personal brands, providing them with the opportunity to benefit financially from endorsements. That was the whole thing with the NCAA football game, the college football game. That's why it went off, because they were using these football players, and the football players weren't getting anything for the money. Just like at college games, they get money for the fans to come in. But you know what? The kids get in the scholarship. I agree they should be awarded, or they should get a stipend to help them live. But the NIL, it's out of hands. We got high school kids that are looking on NILs. I mean, this empowers the athletes to leverage their popularity and a talent. But not all these kids get it in college. There's no regulations. Okay? And it's impacting the sport of college football, college athletics. But are the volleyball players getting this amount of money that the football players are, the basketball players, or the baseball players? Yes, we know there are some females that are getting a lot of money because of who they are in social media and TikTok. Okay, but I agree. Athletes should profit from their skills, should be marketed, but it's jeopardizing the whole concept of college sports. Professionals get that. I mean, what it did to the bowl season. I mean, it's definitely positive. The kids should get money. They should have money to go out to dinner or buy clothes, okay? But to the extreme that a kid goes to school for 1 year and another school says, well, we can get you more money in the NIL deal, is ridiculous. I mean, Gino Amarana, I can never say his name right. The coach from Connecticut. I know he's Italian too, and I'm just butchering it. But Coach Gino from the Connecticut Huskies, the women's basketball coach. I mean, he said it perfect. It's killing the game. It's killing the game. It's killing coaches. Coaches that, there's no doubt in my mind, all right, that, Nick Saban had enough of what he has to deal with. I mean, it's just killing the game. And, I don't know. I just don't know what we're going to do about it, how we're going to make rules about it. The landscape of sports, college sports is changing, but something's got to be done to, you got to have an NIL framework. You got to have rules in place. And, not all athletes are getting this. We talked about the transfer portal. Only 40% of those kids that go to the transfer portal go somewhere. Go somewhere. Only 40%. The other 60% got to go back to the college. Do you want them? I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it's doing to the game, but it's not like it used to be. And yes, I don't care what anybody says. They are getting paid. They're getting a full scholarship. Yes, they deserve something to help them with the cost of living because they can't go get a job because they're always at practice. I just don't know where it's going to go. That's my soapbox. NIL and the transfer portal are just still killing the game. From year to year, now athletes can go from place to place just like college coaches do. And, everybody says, well, college coaches can do it. But you know what? They're the professional. That's their job. What stops them from going from one school to another? Where the college athlete, oh, well, I don't like my NIL deal here. I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe I'm babbling. Maybe I'm confusing, but there's got to be something done to bring college sports back to where it needs to be. Yes, athletes deserve to get paid. Yes, coaches are allowed to go from place to place. Athletes should be able to do that, I think, one time. And if they do it a second time, there's got to be a stipulation. There's got to be a rule. I don't know. It's just let me get off my soapbox, okay? But anyway, that's it for the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I'm glad you could join me. And, of course, if you had comments or you got comments, you can always put them in, like the producer behind the scenes. He's very happy because I've made it past the hour and 30 mark, and it's been a lot of fun. Got to thank Tim Guidera from WTOC Mid-Morning Show. Does a great job. Big sports fanatic, big sports guru. Got to thank Robert Sapulding IV from Savannah Country Day coming on as my Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. Got to thank Rachel West, the new WTOC weekend sports anchor, for coming on and introducing herself and letting people know who she is. But like I say every week, please, people, say a prayer for this crazy world. It's only getting worse and worse, whether it's here in the United States or whether it's all over this place. Just say a prayer that we can keep everybody safe and hopefully someday there'll be peace. I don't know if it'll ever happen because as they told me, as my history teacher a long time ago told me, Coach Thomas Forbes, history goes in cycles. History repeats itself. And I think that's what we're getting right now. So like I say, whatever you're doing today, tomorrow, stay warm, but always hit it in the park. And until I see you next week, may it always be your best week ever. God bless. Peace out. Talk to you later. Thank you for joining me on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. This is the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, and I'm out of here.